What up, though? What up, though? This is Detroit Man with IOW Sports, and I've been watching some things, and sometimes you watch something and you just wanted to talk about it. So I've been watching lately about this Skip Bayless and the Undisputed show has been off for the last 3 weeks, I believe now, and I think now they have announcements not coming back on until August the 28th. And then you see the different things about Skip coming on and all the different co-hosts. First, it's talking about maybe having Shady McCoy on there, which I think is a terrible pick. Durable. I don't think that's a good dynamic. And then you heard Jalen Rose on there, Charles Barkley, Lil Wayne. I think lately you heard Lil Wayne was, no, he wasn't the latest one. The latest one was Richard Sherman. So Richard Sherman was the latest one. And I listened to a couple of YouTube people talking about those sports talking about it, and they're saying, oh yeah, this is brilliant by Skip Bayless and he's trying to find someone he can debate with, and he's trying to find someone that's gonna give him that fight and he can wrestle with mentally and this and that. But then I heard Cameron and Mace, they do a podcast, and Cameron said something, and I want to kind of explore what they said, break it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna give you a little of what I see and kind of mix all that in together, tie it up, put a bow on it, and get out your way. But here's what Cameron had to say.
Got Shannon Sharp, who just went crazy. He got the nickname Unked off the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He went up there, he bought his Black and Miles, and he bought his weed. He bought his stocking cap, the goat mask, the jerseys. He turned it out for black people just who like to see the culture. And I think there's two things, maybe three. What I say was this: Skip Bayless seen what Stephen A. did for the show, and he's like, if I can get
make it blacker.
Exactly.
He brought Black and Miles. You think he gonna let Lil Wayne bring a cup of lean up there?
Yeah, he might.
He might.
You know why? Because there's one thing: he never smoked the weed. He never took a shot of Hennessy. Yeah. He'll just look at Shannon and be like, "You're doing that this early? You're really gonna take a shot of Hennessy?" Because in his brain, he's like, "Do more nigga shit." Do more nigga shit. Do more nigga shit. Yeah. Let's bring the niggas in. That's what Skip Bayless does. And I think that he's seen his ratings skyrocket once he got Stephen A. on the show. Then he seen how much people love Shannon Sharp once he got Shannon Sharp.
We're going to go even blacker this time.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the hood in.
Yeah.
It might be a bandana on it.
Yeah. Young Money. Yo,
Skip walk out with a red bandana.
Skip would definitely do it for the coach. Skip be like, work
down, give my opinion, then I'm gonna tell you what I think about the whole Skip Bayless and trying to find a co-host thing. Tie it up and get out the way, like I said before. So basically, Cameron was talking about, and Mace to a degree was talking about how how Skip took advantage. When I say take advantage, I'm trying to think of a good word. He saw an opportunity to bring the culture and that barbershop talk. That's a lot. If you see a lot of black shows, we try to emulate that barbershop talk. I mean, I think even LeBron had a show where he was in the barbershop just talking. And if you ever been to the hood barber, that's why I call him the hood barber, because I've been to both. I like the hood barber, but every now and then I'll go to like Lady Jane so I can get the full treatment. But when you go into the hood barber, you get those conversations. Sometimes they be outlandish. Sometimes people have some crazy takes, but it's always a good and interesting conversation. It's always a conversation. When you leave out that mug, you be like, I had a good conversation. Even if it was a crazy conversation, it's entertaining. That's the best word. It's always entertaining. You like, yeah, my man was crazy, but you still have something you talk about after you leave out the barbershop. If your boy, you was in with your boys and stuff. on the way out, on the way home, wherever y'all going, y'all talking about it. If you're there by yourself, you get around your boys, you like, man, my man had this crazy take. Let me tell you what my man said, and y'all go on about it. So that barbershop talk is coming into mainstream. Now, do I say it's necessarily wrong with that? No. Do I see, because Skip see an opportunity there to bring it mainstream? No. There's not a problem with that on the surface. Nothing wrong with that. Where it becomes nefarious or wrong or whatever word you want to put on it is when it becomes manipulative, when it becomes where you just taking advantage of it as of the culture itself, where you saying is a part of your culture, you culture vulture, so to speak. That's when it becomes wrong. But even bigger picture, if you look at who Skip Bayless is trying to replace the show with, look at the list. Let's go down the list. Shady McCoy, Lil Wayne, Charles Barkley, Jalen Rose, and now Richard Sherman. All except for Lil Wayne, he had issues with. But Lil Wayne in itself will bring eyes to the TV, will bring eyes to the show. He would bring a lot of eyes to the show. I saw Lil Wayne on air, and Lil Wayne has some good takes, but I don't know if he can sustain a Monday through Friday show. I don't know. Because there's a difference between being a guest on something and actually being a part of something. And then you got to add in a part of that Skip likes to control everything. That's the thing. Skip likes to have control over everything. That's one thing Shannon said. That's one thing a lot of other people say. Skip likes to have a control over everything. Is that going to work for Lil Wayne? I don't know. Now, going back to other people that I named, what element does that bring? That brings that reality TV type style. When this first came out, when you go from when it was Cold Pizza, then First Take, this debate type show, it was great because you got a chance to see one side go against the opposing side, come up with the the dialogue, and they talking and debating it out. Sometimes it get heated, that's fine. That happens all the time. But now as it starts to grow and get popular, now it's got to have more drama. Let's add more drama. That's what it becomes, reality TV type style. And Skip is pandering to that reality TV type fan. That's why I think why he's choosing these people, because it's like, oh shoot, I can get these people, all stirred up and riled up, and then they'll tune in because that's what's selling now. That reality TV type thing. I mean, here's my thing, because you go to some of his takes. They say Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback. I don't even know if he believes that sometimes. I think it's just something to say to get people riled up. He said Johnny Manziel, they're gonna be sorry that they didn't draft Johnny Manziel. All these teams that didn't draft, like the Houston Texans, I think had a chance to draft him. I think it was the Cowboys. Another team had a chance to draft them and didn't draft Johnny Manziel. Where's Manziel now? Then let's go fast forward to the Damar Hamlin situation. There's a lot of things I want to point out. And I was watching another YouTuber talk about it, and he said, well, Skip kind of did some other takes, so I don't think he kind of meant it the way he said tweets. I don't think he meant it in the way he took that one tweet and blew it out of proportion. But here's what I say about that. When something like this happened, you had to have enough. Skip been around the business a long time. Skip is 70-something years old. He old enough to know, you know what, this might not be taken the right way. Let me not say that. This is a sensitive moment. There's an athlete down. We don't even know if he's alive or not. Let me not even tweet this out. That to me, that's a bigger issue, that you are the age you are, in the business you are, everybody touting you as this smart guy, and you didn't tell me we didn't have enough smarts to know I should not put this out. Then you take it to another level. Shannon Sharp doesn't show up the next day. Shannon Sharp comes on the day after and try to explain why he didn't come on. And Skip Bayless, I'm not taking a tweet down. He adamant about it and cut Shannon off. And some people, defend him about that. But you have to look at the underlying issue that's going on here. You shouldn't, and when this man is talking about this is sensitive to him because his brother was in the same situation, and you don't recognize or have enough empathy to say, let me be quiet and let this man talk, because this is a sensitive moment for him. Just like if your mom had cancer and somebody else in the sports world gives a fiery speech about their mom having cancer and they dealing with that, it's relatable to you because your mom had cancer. Your mom suffered for that. And so, and if you're trying to explain that on your show, I identify with my man what he's saying because my mom had cancer too, and somebody cutting into you and not showing empathy for that will upset you, because it's not just about the particular situation. It's personal to you because you identify with that, and you can't tell me Skip don't have enough brains to recognize that. So is he doing it on purpose? Is this something he doing to get ratings, or he's just that insensitive? He's just that insensitive. I don't know. And then people say, well, talk about Shannon and everything. They say, well, Shannon, he was, he's too nice and this and that. And, and I think that's why Richard Sherman would be a good co-host and all this thing. Shannon is trying to be professional. Whatever you say what you want about it, he's trying to be professional because this is what he sees as what he wants his career to be in. And he trying not to burn any bridges so he can go to the next level of his career. You can say, well, it's right or wrong, but I think that's why Shannon was being as gracious as he could with that situation. Here's another thing I want to say about this too, and I'm going to wrap this up. Same YouTube I was watching, when I was talking about why did Shannon leave, it was because of that incident. And he said, well, I don't think because of that incident. I think because the Pat McAfee effect, he saw how much money Pat McAfee was getting. And, Shannon go to FanDuel TV, take Club Shay Shay and get his own show on there. And, he can make more money. Oh, I will argue this. I think both things can be true at the same time. I think one thing is, he saw the opportunity there, but also his work career where he's working at now is in turmoil. His job is not fun anymore. His job is becoming hostile. It's a hostile work environment. So I think that is pushing him towards that. Because you got to think about this, and I don't speak for all black people, but in general, black people, if you look throughout history, are loyal people. Loyal to a fault. And you can see history where people took advantage of that loyal, hospitable kind of personality that black people have. Some people take advantage of that. Now, like I said, I'm not speaking for all black people. I ain't even speaking for Shannon, so I'm just speculating. If he had a good work environment, his loyalty to Skip, because he says all the time how much he appreciate Skip giving his opportunity. How much he appreciate that. He would have stayed on that show. He wouldn't have left. He was just making money on the side like he do with Club Shay Shay and everything else. And making money hand over fist because of his notoriety being on Undisputed. I think the fact that Skip made it a hostile work environment for him pushed him to that. And then the FanDuel TV opportunity was just like ice on the cake. Well, shoot, I can go over here. I ain't got to deal with this nonsense. I can go over here where I'm be more appreciated and I can make more money. I think that's what it is. But It's interesting to see who Skip Bayless is going to pick as a co-host, and how this is going to show up and what's going to happen. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Get out in the comments. What do you think about what I say? You think I'm out of my mind, crazy? Yeah, I probably am, but just tell me what you think. Don't forget, every Monday and every Thursday we go live 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you just like chopping up about sports and everything else, me, Lamar, Nick, MJ, and Ant too. Ant's on Monday until you get started football. So, check out Lamar's Late Night Owl Show, 10 to 11, I believe. Nick, proud Jets fan. We got a lot of stuff going on. Lamar and MJ is on the Late Night Owl. Let me get that correct. And Ant has his own show, PZ. I gotta get the name of that, Ant, so I can shout you out properly. But you'll if you tune in on Monday, you'll see Ant on there, and he can tell you where he can be found. He has his own sports show. Check him out. But until next time, boo.